It's time for the 37th annual Royal Rumble. Wrestling fans, the road to WrestleMania begins today as we prepare for the 37th annual Royal Rumble event at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida, where the winners of the Royal Rumble will get a world title shot of their choosing at WrestleMania. Welcome back to my channel, the X2S Nice. Today, I'm going to walk you through tonight's gigantic Royal Rumble event, giving you a preview, analysis, and predictions for the Royal Rumble event. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. If you like wrestling, subscribe. I do wrestling figure reviews. I do wrestling card reviews. I do wrestling shows, preview, analysis, and results shows. I'm doing a figure giveaway contest starting Monday, the Raw After Rumble, where I will be giving a figure away to the winner of my figure giveaway contest, and that's for subscribers only, so subscribe now. Let's briefly look at the card for tonight's huge Royal Rumble event that is on the Peacock Network, of course. Not a lot of matches on the card. Because of the length of the Royal Rumble matches themselves, they take up to about an hour for most of the Rumble matches. So you're looking at, here's what we have on the card. The Women's Royal Rumble match. We get Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. We get the Men's Royal Rumble contest. And then we get the four-way Universal Championship match. Roman Reigns defends against AJ Styles, LA Knight, and Randy Orton. So that is the card for the show. Now, I do believe the order of the card on this event could give us some clues as to who's going to win the four-way and the Rumble. I believe if the four-way main events the show or ends the show, I think the odds of Randy Orton winning increase, because a lot of times if we're going to have a historical title change, right, this will be a historical title drop, Roman losing the belt. And so if that is to happen, I don't think that's going to happen underneath the Rumble. That would happen after the Rumble match, because it's going to be huge news to have this long historical title reign stopped at the hands of Randy Orton, LA Knight, or AJ Styles. Now, look, I'm giving away some of my predictions here. You can take LA Knight and Styles out of that. They're not going to win. But, again, the order of this card is going to give us some clues. Now, if the Royal Rumble match main events the card or ends the card, I think that increases the chances of a guy like The Rock winning the Royal Rumble. So, without further ado, let's get into the picks part of this programming. I'm going to start off with the Women's Royal Rumbles. The big storylines heading into the Women's Royal Rumble is, of course, you've got the Damage Control dominating the women's division. Of course, last night on SmackDown, the Kabuki Warriors winning the women's tag team titles. And you've got Io Sky as the WWE Women's Champion. And Bayley's been the leader of this group, but really, you can see it over the past few weeks here. She's losing control of this group. She looks more like an outcast to this group. She doesn't look like she belongs in this group anymore. And I think that's the image they've been portraying, because the split is coming. Whether Bayley wins the Rumble or not, I do believe we'll see Bayley versus Io Sky at WrestleMania. I do believe that will happen. And that can happen several ways. One, Bayley can win the Rumble and then she calls her shot. Or two, Bayley costs she eliminates some of the Damage Control people, and they get mad about it. And she tries to play it off, well, I had to do it. So that could cause internal problems. Or vice versa, where the Kabuki Warriors eliminate Bayley. So for all those predictors out there that say Bayley has to win this because they want Sky and Bailey at WrestleMania, I disagree. You could have Asuka eliminate Bailey, leading to Bailey feuding with Damage Control. So she doesn't have to win this. There's couple different angles there. The other big storyline has been the Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, Rhea Ripley, those three confronting each other. Of course, Becky got some revenge or was looking for revenge over Nia for the bloody nose of a few years back. She lost to Nia. Rhea has been inserted in this trifecta of feud here because Becky wants to win the Royal Rumble and come after Rhea. She says, I used to be the man. Am I still the man? But I know right now Rhea is unstoppable. Can she beat Rhea and reestablish herself as the man? And of course, Rhea Ripley said, hey, Becky, I want you to win the Rumble and I want you to come after me. So, Rhea Ripley doesn't back down from competition. And I do believe we're going to get to see Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley, barring a surprise woman coming in here, okay? But let's get down to the match itself now. I've got some surprise entrants. I think you're going to get to see Lita, of course, Trish Stratus, the two legends, and we may see some other legends. You might see a Tori Wilson or a Stacy Keibler type that's just going to show up for this match. And also, I believe there's a strong possibility that we get Nick Aldis's real-life wife, Mickie James, back in the Royal Rumble. I think Mickie will come out, get a standing ovation, get eliminated pretty quickly. But I also believe we're going to get to see the debut of Jade Cargill tonight. And I think she's going to have a good showing and go down into the final. But I think Jade Cargill, she's on our surprise entrance list here. I think the next level of surprise, or we're not real sure if these are going to happen or not, okay? The first surprise entrance I announced here, I believe those are going to happen. Naomi and the Boss, Sasha Banks, comes back to the WWE. Those would be huge. And I also am listing Ronda Rousey here. I could see Ronda. And I think Naomi and Ronda are a bigger probability than Sasha. But look, all the news coming into the Rumble is that Sasha is basically signed with AEW. And I just don't know if I believe that, especially now with The Rock back in WWE as a board member of TKO. The Rock and Sasha have that connection there. I could easily see The Rock swaying the pendulum and getting Sasha back in the WWE. And of course, McMahon is completely gone now. Okay. So, I think this is a smokescreen, all the news that's come out. I think Sasha could be the shock surprise entrance to this Rumble and win the whole thing. And as I look at these storylines, you got to look past. In order to pick a winner, you got to look at where we're going. Where are they going to go at WrestleMania? I believe Bailey and Io Sky happens for sure, but there's several logical and very good angle ways to get there, okay? And we've already went over those. Now, what's the main event? Are we wanting to do Rhea and Becky? They've teased it. I don't think Nia's going to main event, so I do not think Nia will win the Women's Royal Rumble under any circumstance. I've crossed her off my list. But I do think Sasha Banks and Ronda Rousey are in the running here. If one of those two comes out as that surprise entry, I believe one of those two will win this thing. I could see Sasha Banks winning the Royal Rumble and challenging a Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. That would be a huge match. Or it could be a Becky Lynch, Sasha, Rhea triple threat. But also, if you look at the matchup, Sasha versus Rhea doesn't really move the needle for me. Like if I just look at that matchup. If I'm just looking at two bad to the bone chicks, Ronda Rousey versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania makes a lot of sense, people. It looks good on paper. Two bad to the bone chicks going at it. But my pick for the Women's Royal Rumble, and this is a tough one. To me, this one's much harder than the Men's Royal Rumble. I'm going with the man, Becky Lynch. I don't think Sasha comes out. I do think Naomi makes an appearance. My final four is I think Jade makes it deep. I think we'll see Jade, Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, Jade Cargill, and possibly a Naomi or Bayley will make it pretty deep. And I believe Asuka will eliminate one of Damage Control members. I think will eliminate Bayley. And Becky Lynch is going to go on to win the Women's Royal Rumble match. Let's move to the next match here. Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. Logan Paul's first United States title defense. They built this matchup good. Logan comes in as the heel, Kevin the baby face. But I'm going with Logan Paul to retain here. I think this is a pretty easy pick to make. Now, again, I want to give a disclaimer. All my predictions are for entertainment purposes only. They're not for gambling purposes at all. But I'm going with Logan Paul to get a clean win. There could be some sort of controversy. He could win it dirty, but I think it'll be a 1-2-3 win for Logan Paul. But I'm predicting Logan Paul in this one to retain the United States Championship. Now, again, getting back here to the order of which comes first, the four-way title or the Men's Royal Rumble. That is going to really give us some big-time clues as to what's going to happen. Because I'm telling you right now, if the four-way title comes before the Royal Rumble, you will see Roman Reigns retain the World Championship. And that is my prediction in the four-way. Roman versus AJ versus LA versus Randy. If the four-way happens before the Men's Royal Rumble, Roman retains the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, if the four-way match happens after the Men's Royal Rumble, I'm predicting Randy Orton to win and become the new WWE Universal Champion. Now, what do I think's going to happen? I think this match will come before the Men's Royal Rumble, and I believe Roman Reigns will retain. But this is I'm kind of giving a two-part prediction here, though. If the four-way happens after the Men's Royal Rumble, I like the Viper, Randy Orton. That means they're taking the belt off of Roman for his feud with The Rock. And I also think it lessens The Rock's chances of winning the Royal Rumble. So that's why it's important to see. Now, also, at that point, we already know the order. So if the Men's Royal Rumble happens first, I believe that will change the winner. Now, that doesn't mean it's changing it for the WWE. They've already got this scripted out. I'm talking about for us predictors and people that like to dive into this. I think it changes that prediction for us, okay? But in the four-way match, I'm going with Roman Reigns if it's before the Men's Royal Rumble. If it comes after the Men's Royal Rumble, I'm going with Randy Orton for the upset, ending the historical title reign that Roman Reigns had. Now, let's get to the Men's Royal Rumble match. Some surprise entrants. I believe we could get to see the Hurricane. He is a current producer there, so anybody that's a current producer that's a former wrestler, I believe we have a good chance of possibly seeing them. I believe we're going to get to see Carmelo and Trick Williams in this match, and I believe this could start. I believe one of those two guys is going to possibly eliminate each other accidentally, which will start the fracture of this relationship because Trick and Carmelo are two awesome talents that are headed to the moon. I really like Trick Williams, by the way. I like him better than Carmelo. I see Trick doing big things as an individual performer. His mic skills, his in-ring, his look. I like everything about Trick. He's a main event dude. Now, Carmelo, I think he's in that second tier group. I think Trick is a main event level guy. I really do. And so I could see here Carmelo and Trick kind of being the surprise NXT entrance and kind of accidentally fracturing that partnership that they have in this match. Now, another surprise entrance that I think will happen is Andrade will come back. We predicted Andrade on day one Raw, and that, of course, was wrong. He's not been out since, but I do believe he's signed, and I do believe Andrade will be in the Royal Rumble tonight, and I believe he will either help Escobar's family or the LWO. So I think, it's Andrade will add some spice to that budding rivalry between the LWO and Escobar family, which is heating up. That's becoming a really good angle right now. Another surprise entrance I think that will happen, or has a high chance of happening, is Okada. I think Okada shows up in the Royal Rumble tonight, and I think he takes out Nakamura, and this leads to a Nakamura-Okada feud that will lead into WrestleMania, and that would be a great feud. So I see Okada coming out tonight. Now, we're gonna address the big elephant in the room, and this has been going around the dirt sheets. Will MJF be in the Royal Rumble? That's been a hot topic of discussion, but I think it's mostly clickbait. I think MJF is pretty much re-signed with AEW, and he's healing all his injuries. I don't think he's in contract negotiations with the WWE, and if MJF comes out at the Royal Rumble tonight, that would be the biggest shock entrance ever in the Royal Rumble match. I mean, period, of all time. But it's not going to happen. I hate to burst your bubble. It's not going to happen. MJF is still at AEW. If you remember those interviews he gave after he had some issues, he kept talking about how Tony Khan's made him so rich. And that's because we're pretty sure he re-signed at that time. Now, another possible entrance, of course, is Brock Lesnar. I think he was high up on the list, but I do not expect Brock to come out now. I thought Brock Lesnar was going to come out, debut, and feud with Gunther, but I don't think that's going to happen now with the incident that's happened with Vince McMahon. So I'm predicting no Brock Lesnar in this match. Not sure what they're going to do with Gunther. I do believe we'll get a lead up for a Gunther feud, but I don't think it's going to be Brock Lesnar. Could be Drew McIntyre. But we've got The Rock as a surprise entrance, and I believe The Rock has a great chance to win this, because if you're looking at Royal Rumble winners, The Rock won in 2000. He's only won one. And if you're looking at that WrestleMania main event title picture, which helps determine the winner here, The Rock versus Roman for the World Universal Championship match, this could be the ticket to get there, and that is The Rock winning the Men's Royal Rumble. And here is my shock entrance that I do believe is going to happen. I have a very strong inkling that we get Hulk Hogan's last match. It's in Tampa, baby, home of Hulk Hogan. It's the Royal Rumble match. If Hogan was going to lace him up one more time and wrestle, this is the perfect match for a guy like Hulk Hogan, who can't do a real singles or tag team match anymore safely. They could execute Hulk Hogan in the Royal Rumble safely. He comes out toward the end of the Rumble. He's either 28, 29, or 30. Hogan makes the final four with The Rock, with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk. How big would that be? Those four guys in the ring, and I think it's going to happen. I'm predicting Hulk Hogan, his last match. He's always wanted one more match with the WWE. And if you watched Raw last Monday, he teased one more match. And I don't think that was a joke. I think it's going to happen. It's in St. Pete. It's in Tampa, home of Hulk Hogan, home of the Beach Shop, baby. I think, with this huge 40th anniversary of Hulk Hogan, it's going to happen. Now, if this was the 39th year of Hulk Hogan or the 41st year of Hulkamania, no. It's the 40-year anniversary of Hulkamania, and Hulkamania is going to run wild tonight at the Royal Rumble, and he will be in the Final Four with The Rock, Hulk Hogan, CM Punk, and the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Book it. Now, predicting the winner. I've struggled with this one for the last few days. I've either got Rock or CM Punk as the winner, and I've not even completely decided on my pick up to this point in this video. That's how late I'm waiting to actually make a pick. But I just talked myself into it. I just hyped up that four-way. My prediction is, as much as I really believe it's going to be CM Punk, I've flipped, and I am making the prediction now. that The Rock, the People's Champion, will win the Royal Rumble. The WWE needs a huge splash right here in the PR department because of the Vince McMahon story, the negativity coming along with that, and that tie to possible Brock Lesnar in there, which I'm not making any accusations, so whatever. Those are all accusations. But that story, whether true or untrue, is dominating the news cycle right now. They need something positive. They need The Rock, the People's Champion, wins the Royal Rumble tonight. And I believe he will go on to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the World Universal Championship. It's going to be for the belt. Now that The Rock is in TKO, a member and on the board, they've got to pull the trigger on this move now. Now, I'm gonna give a preface though here. The Rock is one of the most unselfish and giving people that there is that has as much power as he does. The Rock is not doing this because The Rock is a selfish, glory-seeking guy. He really is not. He's already a megastar. He's going to do this in order to help the WWE because it's going to give them a lot of positive momentum, especially on the heels of this Vince McMahon issue. So I think because of what's happened with Vince, I think a rewrote has happened, and I think The Rock wins the Royal Rumble. Now, I do believe we would have gotten Rock and Roman Reigns anyway without Rock winning the Rumble, but I'm picking The Rock. I think they need that big splash of Rock that only The Rock momentum can bring because Punk can't do it. Punk is one of the, when he debuted, it was big, but his steam's kind of cooled down a little bit. His smoke is settled. The Rock's smoke is always fire. I'm predicting The Rock. Now, if something happens and the Men's Royal Rumble comes before the four-way, I believe CM Punk wins or Cody Rhodes. So my list of winners will be 1, The Rock, 2, CM Punk, 3, Cody Rhodes. Those 3 guys, but I'm picking The Rock. But if the order of the card flips and we see Roman retain, The Rock's definitely winning. But if the four-way happens at the end, I think Roman loses to Randy. And I think it could change. I think CM Punk would win the Royal Rumble. So just a couple of clues to look forward to. It's going to be an awesome show tonight. Make sure, if you like professional wrestling, subscribe to my channel. Again, these predictions are not for betting purposes. But make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're having a huge figure giveaway on the Raw After Rumble this Monday. The contest begins. So make sure you subscribe. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the Royal Rumble. God bless, and make it a twice as nice day.